Chris, a lot of people like to behave the way they used to. And what I mean by that is a small office. You might put somebody, a customer on hold and go, "Hey Bob, call for you on line 3. Okay, that's the old style of key system environment. And I suppose what this video is about is to show you how you can configure a Tippet environment to do key system emulation.
That's right.
So how do we go about doing it?
All right, so the first thing we need to get used to is the idea of a virtual line. Now, a virtual line is a special type of user that doesn't have a device. See, ordinarily when you create a user in the UCSS portal,
Yes, it's aligned to a device.
Yeah, you assign them a device, or at the very least, something like a soft client.
Yeah.
But a virtual line is effectively a phone number that doesn't have a device specifically assigned to it.
Got it. So a good business scenario of how you might use this, because it's not a normal user, as an example, is that I might receive a call on my Tippet line, park it on, let's say, virtual line 1.
So because it's a special type of user, if you were to try and use the UCSS portal to set this up, you would need to assign a basic pack to it or something to get it going.
Because it's to do with the phone and the user.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the thing about all of those packs is A, they cost a license fee, but secondly, they normally set up to assume that there's a device involved. There is a special type of service pack, or feature pack, I should say, within Tippet called automatic call retrieve.
Right.
Very specifically, automatic call/retrieve v20.
Okay.
So, in this case, we're going to set up the user using Tippet Administration Portal instead. Not normally something we recommend you do for users from scratch, but for this particular example, it's probably the simplest way to do it.
Okay, well, let's go to the Tippet Administration Portal and see how it's done.
Okay. All right, now as you can see, we've already started the Tippet Administration Portal session and I've logged in and I've got myself to the right site. Now, one thing you need to have made sure you've done in advance is to make sure you've got access to that automatic call retrieve v20 feature that I was mentioning a moment ago.
Yeah. And when you mention site, we're not talking about online site, we're talking about the physical Tippet site.
That's right, also known as a group. Okay, so in here we want to add a new user. So we click on the user function, add, and in this case, why don't we put in a new user ID that is extremely memorable? And you can see I've been already using this to do something similar in the past. So we're going to call it a key terminal system virtual line, and we'll call it video demo. All right, so we need to put in a few bits and pieces here. So we're going to call it, we'll call it a last name of KTS.
Yep. What would you normally put in here?
It would be, oftentimes it would be the user first name and last name. So
the person setting it up.
Yeah.
For their use.
Yeah, so we'll go to the first name here, VL. And you can see that it's added the first bits and pieces there for us, and the initial password. Now, in this particular example here, we're going to put a password in, but because it's a virtual line, you'd never actually log a device in on it.
No.
All right, so I've added the information that we need there, and I'm going to click on OK, and there it is. So it's added it.
Okay.
All right. So if we now go back into the user, we'll find it there, and there's the one we just created. So we're going to go in and have a look at it. The next part is we've got to assign the services for it. So in this particular case, there's the service or the feature we're looking for that I mentioned, Tippet Automatic Call Retrieve v20. We add that as a user service pack. We apply, and we're done. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to assign the phone number, because we never actually gave it a phone number yet.
No.
Okay, so we can go into addresses, and you can see there it's asking us for a phone number, so we put one in there. We can select any of these.
They're all available?
They're all it will only show you the available ones. So we might pick 62328305 there. And you can see there that it's included an extension for abbreviated dialing, if that's what you want to use. So once we've done that, we can apply that, and we're done. So that's been saved, so we can go out. The last thing we'll need to do is to activate the number we just assigned to the virtual line.
Okay.
So to do that, we have to go back to the group level, go into resources, and activate numbers. And if we look here, we can find that there's the 62328305.
Yes.
There, so we can click on that. and move that to the activated column.
Excellent.
And at that stage, because it's now active, you can see there that it's activated with the tick. It's actually shown listed there.
Yep.
So it's now would answer the call if we were to ring that
All right,
from
very good.
another device. So what we've done at this point is created a virtual line for a user, assigned the right feature or service pack to it, provided it with a phone number, and then activated the number.
Yep.
All right. Now what we have to do is to assign it to a handset so that we can actually park calls there.
Okay, and we can assign this virtual number to as many handsets as we want in a location.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. As long as they have spare buttons to put it
Sure.
on.
Okay.
Now, in order to assign it to a handset, we use the Busy Lamp Field function.
Okay.
So
right.
we'll go into Tippet Administration Portal and we'll assign a BLF to the handset that we're going to use for the
And
demo.
if you're not sure how to do that, there's a video that'll walk you through that process as well.
So what I'm going to do is pick out the user who was assigned to the phone that we're going to demo on. So that's a fictitious user called Sam Colleague. We're going to look for him in our list of users for this particular site. And you can see there's Sam there. And then we go down to Client Applications. Now the thing about this particular function is BLFs can be assigned to a handset from any user in the enterprise. If you're in a large enterprise, that can mean you have more users available than can be displayed in a single search.
Right.
So in this particular example, we're going to narrow the search down simply because we want to make sure we don't have more than 1,000 users to show.
Good.
So we're going to use a group that we know contains the virtual line we want. So you can see here, there's our user, VLKTS or KTS VL video demo that we created earlier. We add that particular user to Sam Colleague's BLF list, apply, and we're done. And you can see it almost appeared immediately.
It did.
This is one of those cases where adding or a change to a handset doesn't require a reset of the handset. It's pushed down immediately.
Well, let's test it. I'll ring Sam Colleague and see if it's working. And so I've rung through. Let's say that this is a call for Josephine in the other office.
Or I think Josephine can answer it.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. What do we do?
So I'll park it.
Okay.
Call has been parked. Thank you.
There you go. That's very polite as well. Now we know that this was an available line, and people in an office get used to it.
The BLF was assigned to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now all you got to do is, hey Josephine, can you pick up that call on the virtual line? There you go. Perfect. What a great way to work, especially in an environment where people are used to working in this manner.